there, this is Tabitha Nyambura, the founder of Tabi Motivate. Welcome to today's episode, and today we focus on the topic of relationships. And today I want us to understand what a healthy relationship is and what a toxic relationship is. I want us to understand what it means to be in a healthy relationship or to be in a toxic relationship. We will be able to look at the differences between the two, and eventually you will gauge where you stand in. So we'll start by defining what a healthy relationship is, or relationships. In a healthy relationship, there is interdependence, whereby the parties involved accommodate each other's differences and opinions without making the other person or the other person feel inferior because they gave a different opinion. So there are 3 C's that basically describe what a healthy relationship is all about. The first C is communication, the second one is commitment, and the third one is compromise. In communicating, in a healthy relationship, you communicate in such a way, you accommodate each other's opinions, each other's differences, such that there is common ground for agreement, without anybody feeling inferior, unworthy, or feeling like they gave a lesser of an opinion. And so the second point is commitment. There is commitment. Commitment to be loyal, commitment to be faithful, commitment to be true to each other. The third C stands for compromise. We cannot all win. In a relationship, you have to be ready to compromise, sometimes, not always, your opinion for the sake of the other person, just to keep the balance in that relationship or in those relationships. I believe you've understood what a healthy relationship is and what it all means. And when I talk about relationships in our today's focus, I'm basically meaning it could be in the family, it could be in your workplace, it could be in wherever you are. We all relate, we all find ourselves in relationships, and I'm generalizing all this. On the other hand, a toxic relationship usually is abusive, unsupportive, and most of the times it causes somebody to eventually become unhealthy emotionally. So in a toxic relationship, there's a lot of judgmental. There's a lot, people are most of the times, or a person is most of the times judgmental, judging the other person, not bringing out the best. Instead of appreciating, instead of helping the other person become better, you're always judging, looking at the negative, making them feel unworthy or inferior. And then there is usually obsession. In a toxic relationship, the other person, or there is somebody obsessed of the other person or the other people in the group. You don't give them space to become the best they should be or to do what they're supposed to be doing. You don't let the other person express themselves the way they should be. So there is that obsession of making the other person feel like they depend on you. The whole of their lives depend totally on you, which is not healthy. And then also the third and the final point, in a toxic relationship, there's usually denial. Somebody or people are not responsible enough to admit their mistakes or even apologize. Their ego is way too high. They can't come down to accept that they made mistakes or even apologize. So basically that's what it's all about, a toxic relationship. And I believe by now you've understood what a healthy relationship and a toxic relationship are. Going forward, I want us to compare the two. I want us to understand the differences between the two. And when you compare the two, the main objective for this is for you to be able to know, either are you a toxic person, depositing negatives, making other people feel unworthy, not adding value into the lives of other people, or are you in a healthy relationship or in a toxic relationship? And we'll start, the first point is, in a healthy relationship, there is absolute trust in each other. You trust the other person. Wherever they are, you know that they mean well. You know whatever they're doing it's good. You don't judge them. You trust them. On the other hand, in a toxic relationship, you become like a secret investigator. You're always investigating the other person, where they are, what they're doing, always calling them, not giving them space, which is not healthy. The second point is, in a healthy relationship, the parties are happy for each other's achievement. When the other person makes progress, makes a step ahead, when they win, you're happy for them. You congratulate them and you clap for them. But on the other hand, in a toxic relationship, there is jealousy and insecurity. You become jealousy of that person. You see them as a threat, and most of the times when it comes to this, when you see your colleague or your colleagues, progressing, most of the times in such toxic relationship, there's usually breakups and people end up having bad blood between them because there is insecurity. The third point is, in a healthy relationship, there is personal growth, because you are given that time to express yourself. There is the other parties bring out the best in you. They are happy for you. They encourage you. They motivate you to become the best that you're supposed to be. But on the other hand, in the toxic relationships, you remain the same. There is no growth. Why? Because that person or those people will always make you feel unworthy. They'll always make you feel inferior. They'll always make you feel like you're making a mistakes by making progress, by doing what you're supposed to do, because of their insecurities. And that causes you to stagnate, or not to progress, or to become worse than you were before, or to remain the same place, which is not healthy. The fourth point, in a healthy relationship, you are given space. You are given that space to maintain your individuality, because we are all uniquely created with different personal traits, personalities, and that is not supposed to change, and nobody should come and try to change that. So in a healthy relationship, there is that space to become yourself, to be yourself, to express your individuality. But on the other hand, in a toxic relationship, you're always together. You don't give each other space. You have no time to do what you're supposed to do, or to even practice what you should be practicing for you to become the best that you should be. And so there is no growth at the end of the day. There are no added values in your life for you to become better, and so you remain the same. The fifth point is that in a healthy relationship, you share equal status. You share equal status, meaning nobody makes the other feel inferior, or nobody is superior than the other, because there is common ground for agreeing to things. You come with your different opinions, you discuss them, you agree, and then eventually there is common ground for agreement. But on the other hand, in a toxic relationship, there is that person or those people who always feel superior than the others, suppressing other people's opinions, making other people feel unworthy, or like they shouldn't have given opinions or suggestion concerning whatever it is. And so that is not healthy. That is not healthy at all. And the sixth point, in a healthy relationship, of course, there are no relationships that are smooth. There will always be conflicts. So in a healthy relationship, those conflicts act as a bridge to connect people, to appreciate people's diversity. And those conflicts help those relationships grow or become better and understand each other better. But in a toxic relationship, when conflicts arise, there are breakups, there are fights, because then there are those who feel superior, there are those who feel like they are more right than the other people, and this arises to fights, breakups, and disagreements that are not healthy, and hate. When you find yourself in such a situation or in such kind of relationship, just know that you are in a toxic relationship. The final point, in a healthy relationship, you accept each other, or you accept the other person just as they are. You don't make efforts to change them. It's only God who can change a person. Or it's only a person, an individual, who can make a decision to change. You cannot change somebody. And so trying to make efforts to change somebody, you'll only end up being frustrated. So in a healthy relationship, or if you're in a healthy relationship, don't try to change people, because you cannot. You only give time to become better or to realize their mistakes, and eventually they'll change based on their own decisions. On the other hand, in a toxic relationship, there is always that person or those people trying to change their colleagues or their peers. You're always judging them for who they are. You don't accept them the way they were created. You don't accept them with their weaknesses and with their strengths. There's always that effort of trying to change people, which doesn't work, and it can't work. So basically, those are the 7 major differences between a healthy relationship and a toxic relationship. And I believe by now, from the discussion we've had, I believe by now you've understood where you stand. And in conclusion, this is what I want to say. You cannot pour from an empty glass. There has to be something in a glass for you to pour out something from it. The same way, the Bible says in the book of Matthew chapter 12, verse 34, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Take time to deposit good things in you, because you could be the toxic person affecting other people in a negative way. And I want that to change. I'm here having this discussion because I believe there is room for change. And I believe you can change to that person who is depositing positive vibes in the lives of people and making them become better than they were before. Deposit good things in you, and eventually those good things will come out, and you'll be able to deposit them in other people. To attract positivity, you have to be positive yourself. You have to be the person speaking positive things, encouraging other people, motivating other people. Yes, you can see other people's weaknesses, but you focus on their strengths, adding value, helping people grow and become better than they were before. I believe you'll be able to understand the difference between a healthy relationship and a toxic, and I believe by now you're able to make an informed decision concerning what you need to do. If at all you are in a toxic relationship, it's high time you understand that those relationships are not adding value into your life. They are not helping you live your life of purpose or become better in any way. So it's high time to make an informed decision of becoming the better version of you by engaging with the people that encourage you, people who motivate you become better, people who add value and cause growth into your life. I believe you've learned something today. Thank you and be blessed.